Okay, good afternoon. So today we're looking at the November 2020 grade 10 paper 1. That was the end of last year's paper. Okay. So at this point, when you answer these questions, you answer it as if you are sitting in the exam. Okay, because these were exam papers. Okay, as soon as last year's paper. Okay, I know the previous paper we worked from 2016. Okay, the topics are the same, so the idea of testing and things like that is on the same level. Okay, Mr. G said this paper. Okay, so first question, it says factorize the expression fully. Factorize the expression. Okay, so settle down. So, what do we do first? Common factor. So it's x into 4 minus x squared. So what do we notice here? So it's going to be 2 minus x, 2 plus x. And that's it. Or x into 2 plus x and 2 minus x. Okay, you all agree with that? Okay, let's look at the next one. This is now a trinomial, not so? Right, for the trinomial, the product line, I know there's more than one way of doing this. There's quite a few ways of doing it. Whichever you prefer doing, it's acceptable. Your factors of 1 and 54 is 1 and 54. 2 and 26. 27. 3 and 18. 4 and 6 and 4 and 4 doesn't work. Anything else? 6 and 9. Do we add or subtract our factors? You subtract. So 27 minus 2 is 25, 18 and 3. That's it. 1 times 18 is 18, 1 times 3 is 3, 18 minus 3 is 15. So it's a 1 and a 3 in a bracket, a 1 and a 18. This is x squared, so there goes an x and an x. What about our signs? A plus and a minus, not so? One must be plus and one must be a minus. The bigger one is going to be a bigger factor is going to be a plus, because of the middle term being plus. All okay with that? Alright, let's look at the next one. In question 1.2.1, anything to the power 0 is? 1. So that is simply 1. What if we had 5 to the 0 over 12? 1 over 12. And what if it was 5 over 12 to the 0? That would have been 5 over 1. You all agree with that? Okay. The next one, what do we need to do first here? Sort out the denominator so that we can find an LCM. So it's 3 over. What can happen then? Difference of 2 squares. So it's x plus 3, x minus 3. Plus 2 over x minus 3 squared. So what's my LCM here? X plus 3, x minus 3 squared. Why? Because of that squared. Okay. So what must this be multiplied by to get the LCM? X minus 3. So if we multiply the denominator by x minus 3, the numerator must follow suit. X minus 3 plus. What must that denominator be multiplied by to get x, the LCM? X plus 3. Okay? So x plus 3. So the numerator as well, x plus 3. So what do we do now? We simplify the numerator. So it's going to be 3x minus 9 plus 2x plus 6 over x plus 3, x minus 3, which is now what? 2x plus 3x is 5x. Minus 9 plus 6 minus 3 over x plus 3 x minus 3. Alright, you all agree with that? Any confusion? You all get this, no? You guys did the homework? So hope so. The next one, we got an exponential expression here. So we're going to break that up. Okay, that's why that denominator is already broken up. We don't have to do the step, but it just makes it easier to follow. So it's 3 to the t, 3t minus times 3 to the negative 2 over 2 times 3 to the t minus 3 to the t. So what is common in the numerator? 3 to the exponent t. What are we left with? When we take the whole term out, what we left with? 1. And that's a common made error. Learners leave that out and they just write negative 3 to the minus 2. So watch out for that. Whenever you take out the whole term as a common factor, you're left with 1. Over 3t into 2 minus 1 again. Okay, so that cancels. Now that is going to be 8 over 9. Minus 1 is 8 over 9. No? Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Otherwise, that you can put in the calculator. Any confusion at this point? No? Let's look at question 1.3. In question 1.3, we are told solve for x. So this is fairly simple one, straightforward. X is one side, numbers are the other side. So you got negative 3x plus 4x equals 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. X is equal to 4. You all okay with that? Right. Next, we apply the zero factor rule here. So you must factorize the trinomial. Okay? So again our product line. It's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Do we add or subtract our factors? With our product, sorry, we add them. No? So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Add it, I get 4. I'm looking for 5. Swap around. Why are we adding the products? Because I've got plus 2. The last term is minus, we subtract the products. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1, I add it, I get 5. And that's what I'm looking for, I'm looking for 5. You all okay with that? Right. So it's going to be in the bracket a 2 and a 1. A 1 and a 2. What about our signs? The sign is going to be the same or different? Same sign. Why? Plus in the last term. No? So you're going to have a both has to be the same sign. So both is going to be minus. If this had to be a plus here, I would have made both plus. Verstaan julle? If here was a number on the side here other than 0, then I would have to brought the number over first. Then set it equal to 0. Then factorize. You guys understand? Right. So let's go with what we have here. So in other words, we have 2x minus 1 equals 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Not so? So x is equal to 2. On the other hand, we have 2x is equal to 1. So x is equal to. Otherwise, you could have gone from this straight into the answer. You'd have gotten the full mark anyway. Right, you guys understand? Good. Next, whoops. In question 1.3.3, again solve for x. So what do we need to do here? First sort out the denominator. Not so? Factorize so we can find an LCM. The reason why we're working out factors is so that the LCM will be smaller. If you're not going to factorize, the LCM is going to be much, much larger. Okay? You will still get the same answer, but as long as you don't make a mistake. The larger the sum, the easier it is to make a mistake. Okay? So the factors here, of course, of the x squared is 1, the coefficient of x squared is 1. So it's 1 and 1. So the factors for 4 is 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Do we add or subtract our factors in this case? Subtract, because that's negative. So subtract the factors. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1, I subtract it, I get 3. And that's what I want. So 1 and a 1 in the bracket, a 1 and a 4 is the x squared. So it goes x and x. 1 plus 1 minus, the bigger one must be minus. As you can see, the bigger number must be minus, so this plus. So it's equal to 3 over. That's simply going to be x minus 4. If I look at 2 plus 2x, that can be written as 2x plus 2. Not so? What is common? 2. So I'm left with x plus 1. Any confusion at this point? No? What's my LCM? LCM x plus 1, x minus 4. And the 2 here. I've accounted for that, that's accounted for. Okay? So the 2 is short. Alright. What's my restriction? Which value can x never be equal to? Negative 1 is? And? Positive 4. Why can't x be equal to negative 1 and positive 4? Why? The sum will come out to be undefined. And if the sum is undefined, it's not going to work for us. Not so. So, what must this denominator be multiplied by to get the LCM? 2. So I multiply numerator also by 2. So it's 2 into x plus 2. Don't multiply straight away. Okay? So many make the mistake when they multiply the negative out on this fraction. So you apply the foolproof method. Any fool can do it. No? So let's go here. What must this denominator be multiplied by? 2 into x plus 1. Because there the x minus 4 is accounted for. Okay, so it's 3 times 2 into x plus 1. What must that be multiplied by? X minus 4. So when they write this out straight, they write minus x minus 4. That's a mistake. Common mistake. So what we do now? Get rid of the brackets. So that's going to give us 2x plus 4 equals 6x plus 6 minus x plus 4. You agree with that? Now what we do? X is one side, numbers the other side. So it's going to be 2x minus 6x plus x equals. So I've accounted for that. 6 plus 4 minus 4. So that cancels, gives you 6 and 3 in the negative. Not so? How do I get x on its own? Divided by negative 3 both sides. So x equal to negative. Okay, any confusion? Nobody? In question 1.3, 1.4. Given that 3x minus 1 is greater than negative 4, but it's also less than or equal to 5, where x is an element of real numbers. Belongs to a real number set. Solve the inequality. So what do I do here? The negative 1 goes both sides, because it's a 2 in 1 here. So 3x is less than negative 4 plus 1, or less than or equal to 5 plus 1. Now what? Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3 and 6. Divided by 3 throughout. The negative 1, x, and you will agree with that? The next question says, hence, what does hence mean? From your previous question. So answer. Represent your answer to question 1.4.1 on the number line. So what are the critical values on the number line? Are you in? It's negative 1 and 2. Now is it going to have an open circle or closed circle at 1? Open. Why? It's excluding. It's not equal. At 2, closed circle. So it's a continuous solution. As you can see, the inequalities together. So we say x is more than negative 1, but x is less than 2. Okay, all okay with that? Nwapisa. Did I say that right? No, what is it? Huh? Nwapisa. Huh? Yes, okay. Is currently 4 times as old as her daughter. Blessing. Yeah. Okay, so we got the mother-daughter situation here. So the mother is 4 times as old as her. So if Blessing, her daughter, is the younger of the two, not so. So what we do is we make the smaller one x. Okay? So we say let the daughter equal x. Okay? So in other words, the daughter is x. How old is the mother? 4x currently. Not so. It is present. Okay. Then we are told in 6 years from now. So in 6 years time, the mother will be how old? 4x plus 6. The daughter? X plus 6. Can you see that? In 6 years from now, the daughter will be 3 times as old as... No. The mother will be 3 times as old as the daughter. Not so? So we got in 6 years time, the daughter's age must be multiplied by 3 to get the mother's age. Not so? So the question says, calculate Blessing's age currently. Blessing is the daughter. So in other words, if I've calculated x, I have solved for x, I've done the job. Not so? You all understand? So how old is the mother in 6 years time? 4x plus 6. How old is the daughter? X plus 6. So it's just a matter of solving for x. Okay? So you multiply this in. I get 3x plus 18 equals 4x plus 6. X is one side, numbers are other. So it's negative 12. 6 minus 12 is negative x. So x equal to? So the daughter is 12. You will agree with that? And we can test if it's correct. There's 4 marks at the end of the day. So the mother currently is 46. No, 48, sorry, 40. No? So 4 times 12 is 48. How old will the mother be in 6 years' time? 54. How old will the daughter be in 6 is that? 18. What's 18 times 3? 54. Can you see that? So all those balances out, so which makes it correct. Okay? Any confusion? So let's take this off. I need space, otherwise we'll run out of space at the end. Okay. I think question 1.6. Solve simultaneously for x and y if. Now, there's two ways of doing it. Okay, we can either do it by elimination, or we can do it by substitution. And we use the substitution method majority of the time. So we're going to do substitution here. Which equation are we going to work with first? Number 1 or 2? You want to make? What are we going to make the subject of the formula here? The y. So we're going to make from the equation 2. Not so. From this equation, you're going to have, we take y's on one side and everything else on the other side. So y is equal to 3 minus 2x. This equation 1. Let's call this equation 2 for now. This you could have called equation 3 or whatever. Do we have to name the equations? No. Okay, but if you're that one of those OCD girls that needs to name everything, there's no problem with it. You just name it and you do your thing, man. I'm just joking on the OCD, man. Well, no psychologist here and asking me questions. That's what I do, man. Right. So we're going to substitute this into the other equation. Alright. That goes into there. Alright, you all understand, eh? So what do we have? 5x plus 4 into 3 minus 2x equals 21. Now what? We solve for x. Multiply. So 5x plus 12 minus 8x equals 21. So x is one side, numbers the other side. So 5 minus 8 is negative 3x equals 21 minus 12. What's 21 minus 12? Huh? 9. So I divide by negative 3 both sides. So x is equal to negative 3. You all agree with that? Did I make a mistake? No? So what do I do with this? I sub that into equation 1, whatever you guys call it at that point. So we'll have y is equal to 3 minus 2 times 3 in the negative, which will give you 3 plus 6, which is 9. You all agree with that? Is that correct? Any confusion? You guys copied well then, eh? Right, question 2. In question 2, we are told the diagram below is made up of black dots joined by thin black lines. Okay, I think they repeated something. But anyway, they want to know in question 1. So what happens is when you get a question like this here, what we do is we convert our geometric shape, our shapes, to a sequence of numbers. Okay? So how many black dots are used here? 5 dots. Yeah? 8. Yeah? 11. Right, first question. How many dots are there in figure 4? So this is figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. So if this pattern persists or continues, then how do I get from 1 to the next? I added 3. Then I added 3 again. Not so. So if I add 3 again, what am I going to get? 14. There's 14 in the next pattern. Okay? Determine a general rule to find the number of dots in the nth pattern. So what do I notice? What am I adding all the time? We're adding 3. So Tn is equal to 3n. But this is term 1. So n is 1. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Let me check if it's correct. This is term 2. 2 times 3 is? 6. Plus 2 is? 8. The next one, this is term 3. 3 times 3? 9. Plus 2? 11. Which is correct. That's one way of doing it. Otherwise, I could have used the formula Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1d. Not so. What's your first term? 5 plus n minus 1. What's my common difference? 3, because I'm adding 3 all the time. Multiply that in, I get 5 plus 3n minus 3. So it will be 3n plus, which is the same. Alright. Any confusion? No. Okay, I'm just going to write the general term here. We'll try and keep the diagram in focus. Right, so in question 2.1.3, how many dots are there in the 186th figure? So in other words, our n gives us the figure number, not so? So if you're looking at the 186th figure, it's 3 times 186 plus 2. So that gives us 3 multiplied by 186 plus 2. 560. Okay, you all okay with that? Then they want to know which figure will contain 272 dots. So in other words, the figure or the nth figure is 272. So in other words, if we continue this pattern, there will be some figure number which will be equal to 272. The nth term or the nth figure that was equal to 272. Does it make sense? Okay. So we say that Tn is equal to 272. But what is Tn? 3n plus 2 is equal to 272. Now what? They get 2 over, becomes 3 to the n. Now 3n equals 270. So n is equal to? 90. So therefore term 90 or figure 90 is equal to 272. So if you extend this pattern for 90 terms or 90 figures, the 90th figure will be will contain 272 black dots. Does it make sense? Alright, the last question pertaining to this. No, there isn't. Okay. Now we're looking at question 2.2. Consider the finite. Finite means to say it stops, not so? Infinite is numbers that carries on for m. So consider the finite linear. What does linear mean? It's a line, yes. But regards to or associate linear to patterns. What does that mean? The number of patterns, but What does linear, the word linear, what is that? What is significant to number patterns and the word linear? It has a first common difference. Or it is a number that either gets added or subtracted. Like here, we added 3 all the time. So this is linear. If I had subtracted 5 all the time, it would have also been linear. Okay? However, if I had multiplied a number all the time, it would have then have been geometric. You understand? So you get arithmetic, we spoke about, and geometric. Not so. Now arithmetic is linear. Make sense? Yeah? So that means you say I'm adding the same number all the time. So how do I move from one to the next? I'm subtracting 3. Not so. So the first question, let's look at the questions pertaining this pattern. Got 8 minutes left, so we need to wrap this up here. So the first question says, write down the value of B. Now that is simple. What's the value for B? 4 minus 3 is 11. 14 minus 3 is 11. Thank you. Okay. Determine the nth term of the pattern. Again, Tn is equal to negative 3n. Whatever number you're adding, subtracting all the time, you write it in front of n as the coefficient. But this is negative 3. If this is term 1, so n is 1. So what's negative 3 times 1? Negative 3. Negative 3 plus what is 20? Plus 20. And we have to test if it's correct. Not so. That is term 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 23 is 17, which makes me correct. You all agree with that? Otherwise, if you're going to follow the formula, no problem. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 D. What's your A value? 20. So it's going to be 20 plus n minus 1 times negative 3. So it's 20 minus 3n plus 3. So it's negative 3n plus 20. You all okay with that? Any confusion? No? Then it says calculate the number of terms in the sequence. How do we do that? Using the last term. And that is the nth term. You all okay with that? So that means to say that Tn is equal to negative 103. But what is the value? What is Tn? Negative 3n plus 23 is equal to negative 103. Now what? Solve for n. So negative 3n is equal to negative 103 plus minus 23 is negative 126 divided by negative 3. So they give you 42. So therefore, the 42nd term is equal to negative 103. What if that was 42,3? What if the nth term, if I had now divided this and I got n to be 42,3? Huh? Sorry? No? Round it off. Oh, round it off. You all agree with that? You know, they would have been term 42 is equal to. You all agree with that? You disagree. Why? Okay, now, say for argument's sake, we already have a 42nd term, which we do have, okay. What if we didn't have this? No? And we got n to be equal to 50,4. If n came to be an answer 50, 4. What then? What? Rounded off to 50. So you're saying the 50th term would have been negative 1 or 3. Who disagrees with that? Yes, okay. Why? Micronation, yes?
So, the negative 1 or 3 is like according to this specific
pattern, yes. Oh my word! Didn't I tell you that? Let's assume that it's not. Okay. My problem is that we worked this already out. Okay, say for argument's sake. They ask you to work out which term of the sequence is equal to negative 200. Let's say which term of the sequence is equal to negative 200. This question was not asked, I'm just trying to show you something. So now we got negative 3n plus 23 is equal to negative 200. So it's going to be negative 223, negative 200, negative 200 minus 23. It will give you negative 223, no? Divided by negative 3. I get 74,3. So, which term of the sequence is equal to negative 200? Sorry? 74. 74,2. 3. Who disagrees with that? Yes?
So I don't disagree.
You don't disagree, okay? Definitely something, yes. We're getting there.
Like, obviously, there's a term for 74 somewhere.
There we go. That is what I want to hear. Term 74. What is that equal to? Now we're going to put 74 in here. Work out 74. What do we get? Negative what? 99. What would term 75 have been? Negative? So how would we have answered this question then? There the question is, which term of the sequence equal to negative 200? Okay, now think about that. Let's say you got the top 3 places in maths. First in either position 1, 2 or 3. Do we have somebody standing between 2 and 3? No. Yes. Which means to say, there's no term equal to negative 200 in this pattern. Did you see that? There's no term that has. So my question is, which term of the sequence equal to negative 200? No term of the sequence would have been equal to negative 200. Did you see that? You must remember when we introduce this, n is an element of natural numbers. N can only be 1, 2, 3, 4 to infinity. You understand? N can't be a negative number, nor can n be a fraction. You guys understand? Right. Let's go to the next one. Calculate the value of the 15th term of the pattern. How do you calculate the 15th term? T15 equals negative 3 times 15 plus 23, which gives us minus 2. Okay, is there any confusion here? No. Right, question 3. Okay, the bell is going to ring in 5 minutes. Let's see. We'll probably go 3 minutes into break, a few minutes. But you guys must don't mind, no? You do, okay? Then we'll go 10 minutes into break. Girls are becoming very naughty over this time.
Your attention please. If there are any girls interested in Tuna C's way, can you please meet in the drama room during break? And Pamamufunya, can you please report to the office for a collection?
People, we'll stop here for today. I've given you the rest of this paper already for homework. Lots of, and you've done paper 2 already. Okay, so for the meantime, it's now homework. People enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon, class. Hello. Are you contesting that I gave you no homework? You really want some homework? Yes. Okay, just hang on.